All right, welcome back, everyone. So, last time we dove into the AI Jam session. Today, with Chapter 8, we're asking the big question. How do you actually capture that creative lightning? Bottle it up so you can use that magic again and again.
So let's start with something I bet every single one of you has felt. You're in that perfect flow state with an AI, right? That creative jam session where everything just clicks. It's pure magic.
You feel like you've captured lightning in a bottle. But then you come back to it, maybe the next day, maybe a few months later, and you try to get that spark back, and it's just gone. You're just sitting there thinking, what happened?
Well, this whole experience, that fading spark, is the exact problem we're going to tackle today. And the book gives us a perfect story to kick things off.
The author talks about this project he called Mentor Max. He had this incredible 2-day breakthrough session with his AI, just cranking out these amazing personalized learning paths. And of course, he saved everything, the final prompts, the code, thinking, I've got this locked down.
But then, fast forward 6 months, he tries to use that perfect prompt on a similar project, and nothing. The result was just flat, totally uninspired. The magic he thought he'd saved, poof, gone. The spark was completely out.
And this whole story leads to a really, really important insight. Just saving your final prompt, throwing it into a text file or a snippet library, it's just not enough. It's not going to bring the magic back.
See, a simple archive like that is basically hollow. It's missing all the good stuff. It doesn't have the evolutionary path, how you got there. It's missing the why behind your choices, your gut feelings. It doesn't capture the AI's specific mood or the project's unique feel. You've got a picture of the final destination, but you have no map of the journey. You've saved a photo of the lightning, not the actual storm.
Okay, so if just saving a snippet doesn't work, then what does? Well, this is where the book introduces a really powerful, structured solution for this exact problem.
It's called a vibe signature, and I love this concept. Think of it as a way to bottle the entire ecosystem of a great creative session, not just the final product. It's the whole recipe, with all the little notes in the margins, not just a photo of the finished cake. And here it is, the blueprint for our bottled lightning. Now, don't let the formula look scare you. It's not really a math equation. Think of it more like a checklist, a recipe to make sure you capture every single ingredient that went into making that session work so well.
All right, so let's get practical. How do you actually build one of these things? We're going to break it down, piece by piece. This is the real how-to for bottling that lightning.
So there are 6 key components you need to document. And to make this super clear, we're going to walk through the book's example, which is all about a project called Storyweaver AI. The goal was to brainstorm some cool mystery plot hooks for a story set in a creepy remote lighthouse. Sounds fun, right?
First up is PS, the project's soul snapshot. Now, this isn't about your giant overall project goal, no. This is about the specific feel, the very specific purpose of this one session that worked so well.
So for our Storyweaver example, the goal wasn't just get plot hooks. Not at all. It was way more specific. To get genuinely intriguing hooks with a suspenseful, atmospheric feel and even a hint of the uncanny. See how specific that is? That sets the entire stage. Okay, next up is why, your intuition log. This is where you write down your gut feelings. It's all about capturing the why behind your decisions, especially when you changed direction or tried something new. And this is absolutely critical. In the example, the author notes switching from a generic detective persona to a seasoned maritime chronicler. That was a gut feeling, and that switch was probably one of the biggest reasons the session worked. This is the kind of stuff we always forget to write down.
Third is MC, the model's character observed. Here, you're basically taking notes on the AI itself. How was it behaving in this specific session? Because let's be real, these models aren't always the same from day to day.
And look at this observation from the book. The author noticed that this AI model, Fictioneer XL, was really responding well to vivid sensory details, things like the smell of salt and damp stone. That is a golden nugget of information for next time.
All right, now we get to the absolute backbone of the vibe signature, the P, or prompt thread. And here's the key. You don't just copy-paste the conversation. You have to annotate it. You explain your thinking behind every move you made. This comparison here shows it perfectly. On the left, you just have the raw log. It shows what was said. But on the right, the annotated version shows why it was said. You can see the strategy. Used yes and to affirm. Gave specific directions. That why is everything. It's the secret to being able to do this again.
And finally, we have the last two pieces. O is for the key outputs, the actual good stuff you created. And R is for the rationale. This is your final reflection on why the whole thing worked so well.
This reflection basically seals the deal on your learning. The author identifies two key things: that seasoned maritime chronicler persona was a game changer, and that going back and forth with refinements was crucial. It's like writing down the secret to the recipe after you've perfected it.
So, I know what you might be thinking. This seems like a lot of extra work. And yeah, it is. But here's why it matters. Creating a vibe signature is an act of kindness. It is literally a gift you're giving to your future self.
But you gotta be disciplined about it to make it work. You have to avoid these common mistakes. Don't wait a week to write it down. Do it while the magic is fresh. Don't be vague or generic. And please, don't forget to annotate the why behind your prompts. That's the whole point.
Look, the bottom line is this. A flash of lightning that you forget about doesn't light up anything. So don't just have these amazing AI sessions. Take a few minutes to actually capture them, understand them, and document what made them special.
Because a vibe signature isn't just a fancy archive. It's a real investment in your own creative process. It's how you make sure that one amazing moment of inspiration can light your way again and again. So the only question left is, what lightning are you going to capture first?